Welcome to the strange world of activity that exists high above the crowded streets below. The world of the iron worker, that hardy breed of man who pursues one of the toughest, most dangerous professions in the world. We're here in New York City, the mecca of skyscraper construction, on the uncompleted 10th floor of the proposed 52-story Union Carbide building. Well, we're here at the request of Mr. Robert Lubash, who lives right here in Manhattan, and he writes, "Dear Jack, as a native New Yorker, I've always been fascinated by the way this city expands. Its growth is not outward, it's up, straight up. And every time I walk past one of the steel skeletons that marks a new addition to the city's skyline, I wonder about the men who build them. I think the story of who the iron workers are and how they work would be of interest to everyone. All right, Mr. Lubash, if you don't mind walking the safety planking here, let's see if we can't answer your request." Column after column, beam after beam, the process goes on. But what about the men themselves?
We must be out now, huh?
Yeah. How long have you been an iron worker?
Oh, about 8 years now.
15 years.
40 years?
How about 14 years?
How about 5 years, Jack?
Well, about 42 years.
Would you trade your job for one on the ground?
I would not.
Something paying about 20 grand a year, I guess, yeah.
Well, I don't think so. It's very interesting work, being a steel worker, and I don't believe I would change it.
Well, I like to sometimes.
But you kind of like what you do, huh?
Yeah.
How does a man get started in this business, Don?
Well, I got started with my father.
Your father was an iron
That's
worker?
right.
Well, you can start any way you want. You can start the hard way, carrying plank.
That's a hard question to answer. Myself, I more or less went for the money, and I stayed with it. I got a wife and 2 kids now, so.
Well, he started from the bottom and come up.
Ever had a close call?
Oh, yes, I've had quite a few in business day. You come across them.
Come down 65 feet.
I nearly got caught between 2 beams.
Well, went down 3 forwards one time.
But this all a day's work there, so far I had nothing serious ever happen to me.
Got a broken arm out of it.
Yeah, badly hurt and broken back.
What safety features are there for the iron workers nowadays?
Oh, well, nowadays there's quite a few safety features. There are shoes and belts. Everything is entirely different from what it was in the old days.
Most of the men nowadays want to die in bed, and besides that, there are so many laws now that for our own safety that, well, we can't ride the loads anymore. We can't ride the ball or ride steel. We have to plank the floors over every 2 floors so that if we fall, we don't fall far.
Well, but you still have the outside points, and you still got a long drop down there when you're up a few stories. So.
Well, if you got a good gang, a gang that know the tricks, know every move, you go along faster all the time, you don't have to worry so much.
Oh, teamwork means practically everything in this business. One man doesn't know his job or doesn't hold his end up, as they say there, it more or less makes the whole job go bad.
Like a baseball game or something. It takes everybody to win.
Teamwork is the essential part of the gang. I mean, if you don't have teamwork, your gang is nothing.
Got to look out for the other guy, too, you know.
Does height ever bother you?
Well, I figure after the first 3 or 4 stories, it doesn't make any difference whether you come down 3 stories or 30 stories. The result's the same.
No, it doesn't bother me.
It's a psychological effect. I guess it bothers everybody. Of course it does.
Well, I'll bet you see some strange sights from where you work, down on the street or in the buildings opposite.
Oh, very, very, very cute.
Oh, yes, you see a lot of strange things there.
Any you can tell about?
Well, not on television.
Well, there you are, Mr. Lubash, a pigeon's eye view of the skyscraper steeplejacks, the men who daily defy gravity and think nothing of it. As far as I'm concerned, I'm getting myself back on terra firma, known as the street level. You asked for it.